Hi guys, back again. It's Nikki Green, long time no see. And today's video is an interesting topic. It's one that any entrepreneur, any person really, that wants to make a little bit of extra money will be looking at this year. 2020, we're a few months in, but everybody wants their money up. So we're looking at ways to hustle. And by that, I mean legit ways to hustle, nothing illegal on this channel. Thank you very much. But we'll be looking at ways to get your money up that are quick, easy, and effective. But they do require work and research. Okay, so I'd like to start with number one, and that is rent your space. So this could be through platforms such as Airbnb, Gumtree, look it up, make sure it's a legit space that you're using, but there are ways to make money through renting a space that you already have. So that could be your bedroom, it could be a spare room that you have, if you own the property, you can put it out. It could be an event going on in your local area. You can advertise that space and put it out there so that people may, it may be cheaper than the average hotel in your area on that day, or you may have better location or better facilities. You'll be close to a university. You could be close to many different things that are appealable to people in the mass market. There is such thing as rent to rent or let to let. So you could see a property, you may not be able to afford that property, or you could be renting where you are now, but it's important to speak to your landlord about what you want to do with that property, and use that to make some money. So for example, it could be something in your town centre, an apartment in a good space. You could rent it. You could negotiate a contract where you're saying, I'll rent for the next year or next 2 years at this rate. But you know full well that if you used a platform such as Airbnb, you could make, double or triple that, or even more, because of the location. The landlord wants security and you want profitability. So it's a match made in heaven. But as I suggested, please negotiate with that landlord. I want to advise that you do that and breach any of your contracts. Make sure they know what you're doing. Number two, we have sort of delivery / courier businesses. So we're looking at things. We're talking about people with jobs. We're talking about people with possibly children, or this is your side hustle. This is a way to get your money up. So you could have a local restaurant near to you, something that you use yourself, and you're always paying that £2.50 delivery fee. The restaurant only delivers within a certain radius. Have a chat with them. You could be that delivery driver. Rather than sitting at home on a Saturday night, you could be out doing a few deliveries and getting your money up. You could courier for reputable businesses. If you want to push that a bit further, why not be the courier agency? You're working against people such as DPD, and there's a few others that are well known, but there's new businesses starting every day. So what's the difference? Why can't you start yours and be that service, be that dependable service for people? Can also look at an online store. Lots of people buy online these days. I know I do. The majority of things I buy. You may source things from other places. You may be a good bargain hunter. Use your skills. If you're good at finding things that, I know a lot of people wear trainers, and you got a few people that buy up trainers and have had these trainers for years, or they've got collectible items, or you're really good at making stuff. It could be candles, bath bombs, anything. We've all got skills. We've all got things that we're capable of doing. Or as I said, you find bargains. So use a platform, create your own and market it. It could be your own website, or you can use platforms such as eBay, Amazon, Etsy. The main aim of the game here is to buy it cheaper than you're going to sell it. So you want to make a profit. You have to factor in a few things. So you're talking about delivery costs. You're talking about any premiums or fees that the actual website host may apply, any marketing costs that come into you. So do your figures first, because there's no point in you buying a whole load of stock and you're going to lose money by selling each thing. But if you do your figures and they work out, go for it. You sell one, you made a profit. You sell 50, you made a decent profit. You sell 2,000, you made a really good profit. There's nothing stopping you selling thousands and thousands of that item if you've got something that people want. Think about what you want. What do you buy online? How can you make it easier? These are all ways to make money. And then we have point number 4, which is tuition. So we've all got skills. I genuinely believe that every single person has skills on this planet. We've all got something that we can learn from each other. And, there's things that people will pay for. For example, myself, people come to me a lot for business advice, which I do sell, and I do one-to-one tuition. I haven't quite got my online platform open, but I will be selling that online. My sister's a singer. She tutors people in, stage presence and voice coaching, which is another area. Just think about what you're good at. What can you sell? What do people ask your opinion for? And you can tutor people for that. There's ways to do that, as I previously mentioned. So you can do one-to-one classes. If you've got somewhere in your home that you're happy to do that with, then that's fine. You could go to a library space. There's plenty of places that you can tutor people, or online you can do that through Skype. You could have 4, 5, 6 people all tuning into you at one time. You can make that interactive. There are websites and platforms that make this easily available. It's another good way to get your money up in 2020. And then we've got number 5, which is a skills platform website. So by that, I don't know whether people have heard of Upwork and Fiverr. I use those websites when I want, say, a website done, or I'd like a business plan, a bit of help with that, or there are many other things that are sold on these sorts of websites. So, if you've got a good voice, you can sell that as well. You can do things like jingles or voiceovers, any sort of skill that you have that is marketable within the categories of these websites. You can upload and sort of put a gig out and sell that. So for example, you may work in marketing day in, day out. You know how to sell that product. Use that skill, put it up there, see who comes out. You may get £30, £40, £100 too. I've even seen gigs out there for £2,000 that people are buying on these websites, because if you've got the skill, it's valuable to somebody. Number 6, one of my favourites, not for the faint-hearted, is property investment. Now, getting credit is easy to a certain extent, as long as you've got, the credit rating, or you've got the cash, or you've got the friends, or whoever's going to source that finance, or, you could have spare cash lying in your bank. However, property investment, when we're talking about passive income, it's not as easy as it seems, but it is. So I'll explain that a bit further. So when you're looking at property investment on a long-term basis, we're talking about buying a property at a certain price. Say, we'll use 100,000 as a figure. You buy a property for 100,000, and your aim is to keep that property for 25 years, which is a standard length of a mortgage. There's no guarantee in 25 years that property is going to be worth 100,000. Particularly in some places, I think up north, I remember speaking to someone and she'd lost the value of the product of the properties that she'd brought. They'd gone down in value, whereas people that had brought in London, we've seen property prices quadruple. There's no guarantee in life that the property's going to be worth more than you bought it for. We can follow trends and hope for the best. So how do you safeguard yourself against the potential loss of value? What you do here is you rent that property for more than your mortgage, or more than however you're paying for that property. Your mortgage on that property, say, could be, I don't know, £300 a month. If you're renting that, you need to factor in costs such as agency fees, the insurance that you pay on that property, your contingency for anything's going wrong, such as boilers and things like that. And you need to have, there's more things that are, that are off the top of my head I can't think of that are factored in, but you need to factor in all those costs, those monthly costs that you're going to have for renting a property, and then you want to make a profit on top of that. And then once you do that, you're having this income stream that we call passive income. You're making money while you're sleeping. So this passive income can give you a profit each month. So if you're getting, say, £100 extra on top of all those expenditures each month, that's what, £1,200 roughly a year. In 10 years, we're talking, you can do the maths. And then if you're lucky enough, after that 25-year period, that you actually sell that property for a profit, then you've done really well. So property done well is a great investment, but you need to think about passive income, longevity. What do you do if you don't have a tenant? Making sure they've got correct insurance in place. There's all sorts of things to think about before you do this, but it's one of my favourites in terms of making money when you're sleeping. A good hustle. If you don't have the income straight away, buy with a friend. Buy with a friend, save up your student loans together, do something rather than going out clubbing or doing whatever you do to waste the money up that wall. Then put it together, get a property. And then number 7, another one of my favorites. This is something I do as well, sectors that I love. So it's business in a growth sector. What do I mean by a growth sector? I've labeled that myself. By that I mean, well, there's certain trends in history. I mean, talking from ancient Egyptian times, there's things that people will always want and always need. We are a relatively vain society, so we'll always want to look good and feel good. So health and beauty, we will always spend more money. No one wants to look bad. And majority of us want to be healthy. So we will always invest in ourselves. So a product in those areas is quite a good idea. There's childcare. We reproduce, we have children. We also work. So who's going to look after the kids? It's just one of those necessities in life that we need. And then we also have things like care of the elderly. We all get older. So business in those areas are great. However, you do need qualifications to do those things. So, okay, you want a business in that area, but you don't have the qualification. So where we get the hustle element is you set up an agency. You don't have, or a platform for people in these areas to work. You don't have to be the person doing the work. You can be the person that provides that link between the person needing the work and the worker. Brilliant hustle. And then we have buying and selling wholesale. So by this, I mean business to business. We all like a meal deal. Tell me I'm getting a sandwich, a drink, and a snack, and it's cheaper than me buying those things individually. I'm in. Most of us are. We go for big chains and we get meals. Give us an inclusive package and most of us are in. So why not do that? I mean, it could be literally you are selling food to businesses. If you're getting things wholesale, you get them at a generally cheaper price. If you can pass on some of that discount onto the business, then they're more likely to go with you. Why not? And you're making things convenient. It could be a package where you're supplying products. So for example, you've got new business startups. You can have a startup office pack where you're selling desks, office equipment, pens, blah blah blah, everything all in one, and you're taking the hard work out of what other people if you're just taking one more thing off their list. If you can offer business to business products at a wholesale, well, you buy them at wholesale prices and still make a profit. If you can make that more competitive than buying it elsewhere, then you're onto a winner. Obviously behind that you'll have marketing costs and other things that you need to put down. Then we have number 9, which is YouTube. YouTube is a great platform for anything really. We are in a Google generation. We look things up all the time. A how-to video on YouTube is a brilliant source of publicizing yourself or publicizing a product. People do reviews, You can work in the finance sector, the beauty sector, any sector on YouTube. As long as you're getting 1,000+ followers and your engagement is quite high, you will make money from this platform. However, your content needs to be high quality and consistent, because you want people to come back. Here's a plug, like and subscribe, please. And then we have number 10, which is one of my favorites. I'm using this term loosely. Handyman / handywoman, and by that what I mean is selling a service that you can offer. So you could be literally that person that goes and puts up shelves in your neighborhood. You could start off by just dropping a leaflet that you've made on Word and printed off through your neighbor's doors, if that's something you're good at. Or you could offer services such as cat sitting, dog walking, whatever that service may be. It could be a skill that you already obtain, or something that you know that you would be good at, and you can sell that. Why not? Well, I hope some of these ideas will work for you in 2020. Please comment if you've got any other video ideas, like things that you want me to push, then I'll do that. And look forward to speaking to you soon. Thank you. Bye.